Started? Yes. Put it. No, what you do is that. No, that thing.
Bhakti Prajnana Keshava Goswami Maharaj.
Today is a very auspicious day. Today is the avirbhava appearance day of Bhakti Prajnana Keshava Goswami. Uma Didi will speak, but there's no light at the moment. So as soon as the light comes, then she will speak. I have been waiting, that I was hoping the light would come, but the electricity is not here. Even this morning, for 1 hour, I spoke about the life and history of Parama Gurudev. That I spoke in the morning. His appearance day, he appeared in Purva Bengal, in Bengal. So his appearance day, he appeared in Bengal. Which part? Banari part. Saraj Chandra. His father's name was Saraj Chandra. And his mother's name was Jagat I think the mother's name was Jagat Mohini, I think. I said in the morning, when he took birth, when he appeared in this world. So like when a Vaishnava, when a Sant Mahatma appears, it's same as appearance day. Appearance like Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Bhagwan. Who knows how they don't, when they take birth. Now I can hear. There was no mic. Where's my chasma? Now we can hear because there was no light. So when when he was baby, he was like a golden doll. His complexion of his skin was so golden, like a beautiful golden. His complexion was gold. So that's why the mother and father gave him name Yoksi. In morning I said, when they are babies, when they are young babies, the mothers massage their body with oil, and then in the sun, they leave the baby in the sun, and they massage the baby with the oil. So in the same way, his mother massaged the baby and left the baby in the sun, and she went inside, and just at that same time, that big, huge bird came. The bird like eagle came and picked up the baby and then dropped the baby in a pond. And in the pond, the baby fell on the nariyal coconut leaves. Those coconut leaves, and this baby fell on that coconut leaf. That's why in Shastra it says, if Bhagavan wants to save you, nobody can kill you. So if Bhagavan wants to save you, then nobody can kill you. But if Bhagavan doesn't want to save you, then nobody can save you. So even the demigods cannot do anything. Jayadrath, who killed Abhimanyu. He killed Abhimanyu. And that they, who did that I will kill the Jayadrath. So all the Kauravas, all the Kauravas, Duryodhan, they tried to save. They protected it. They tried to save Jayadrath from the kill. So they protected him. So Bhagavan did what? He threw the Sudarshan chakra, and it got dark. Suddenly it became dark. Arjuna. Yeah. So they came in front of him because it was darkness, and then he killed. So if Krishna wants to kill you, then nobody can save. But if Krishna wants to save you, then nobody can kill. You cannot, even if you try to kill that person with many weapons, you will not be able to kill. Guru Dronacharya's son, Asaptacharya, he threw the Brahmastra, he threw the weapon, the arrow. There was a Uttara's, in the Uttara's womb, there was a Parikshit Maharaj. And then what did Bhagavan do? He threw it. So even the Brahmas, yes, so he saved the baby that was in the womb of Uttaras. That you have to say that Krishna is protecting us. So we should have faith in him. We should have faith that Krishna is protecting us. If you are Sanagati, the one who is surrendered, they will think that Krishna will, they have faith that Krishna will protect them. That's why Vishnu Dat, who is saving, who is Dat, Vishnu Dat. That means who will protect. And Parikshit Maharaj. And Parikshit Maharaj was in the womb of the mother's womb, that Brahmastra, that Dhanastra, the arrow. And the Parikshit was mother. That Parikshit Maharaj saw Vishnu himself, that he protected my mother in the womb. And then when he came out, when he was born, Parikshit Maharaj saw the same Vishnu. That's why his name is Parikshit Maharaj. So when he was in the womb of the mother, he was protected. And now today I'm outside the womb, then also Vishnu is here, so he's protecting me. That's why his name is Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit, one is Vishnu Dat, he has two names. One is Vishnu Dat and one is Parikshit. What I'm trying to tell you here is that if Bhagavan wants to save you, then nobody can kill you. If Bhagavan wants to kill you, then whatever you do, you will never be able to save. You will not be able to save that person. So similarly, like Parikshit, our Parama Gurudev's, that was the first thing that Param did. So his charitra is aprakrit, spiritual. Atimirti means is above the ordinary people, much above ordinary person. So as he started to grow, and the parents were taking care of him, he was not even talking to the age up to 3 years of age. So in order for him to talk, what they had to do, they Uchista Prasad from a lower caste was fed to him. And also I said, he was very, when he was in school, he was a monitor. While he was in school, he was the monitor. what happened one day, coming home after school, he was very late one day. So it passed like even 8:30. Gurudev used to speak, when he used to speak this katha, Gurudev, when he used to speak this katha, he used to have tears in his eyes. So he said that, so one day he came home very late and it was almost 8:30. So the mother, she's the daughter of a landowner, so she was very strict and bold. So she always used to punish them. And the mother is also worried, why is my son still not come home? And then he said, today I am going to punish him. So what his mother did was, so she hid behind the door with a stick. And so when he knocked on the door, so Vinod Brahmachari came in. So mother got hold of his hand, one hand, and the other hand she had a stick. And she was going to beat. She said, hey, where have you been? Why are you so late? Where were you? Tell me. What did Vinod Brahmachari say? He said, mother, I'll tell you. In our school, we made a small committee. In that society, we all put some money in. So where do you get the money from? So, the money, you give us some money, like to buy something in school. So this money, so out of some of that money, we put it in the piggy bank. And then we collect it like that. So all of us pay something. So about 25 of us contribute something from what our parents give us to buy lunch. So we collect this money, and then with this money, so we go where people who are very, very poor, they don't have any help. So those people we go and help, like people who don't have clothes, people who have medicine, or they don't have food to eat. So what we do is, with this money, we go and take care of them. But what happened today, there's one old lady, she doesn't have any son or any family, and she got cholera. And she got cholera, so she was continuously passing diarrhea and vomiting. So she was very sick, so we had to admit her to the hospital. So I myself went to the hospital, and we arranged everything for her. So we said, until she's not better, she can stay in the hospital. So that's why I got very late. So when the mother heard that katha, the mother's hand started to shake, and the stick just fell down on the floor. And then she hugged her son and started to cry. That how? Who is Manusha? This morning I said, who is Manush? Who pukar, who can see help others who are suffering. These animals don't have that nature. If you give some grass to the cow, then he will just eat. He will eat, and then that's it, live by himself. Then even monkeys, mother monkey have got baby monkeys, and if you give a monkey banana to the baby monkey, then the mother monkey will steal that banana from the baby monkey. They only feed milk to the baby monkey, but they wouldn't give other food. So Manusha means the human who are compassionate towards others, who can see, who can feel the others suffering, who don't have food, who don't have clothes, then they would give some food and some clothes. Bhagwan has given us. So some of that we should give to others. One person is very rich, and then one other person is very poor. Why? Why is there discrimination? So it depends on the previous life, whether they did donation in their previous life, whether they did pious activities in their previous life or not. And then you didn't help others, and then if you steal others like monkeys do, then what will happen? And that's how you will be. Then you are just like a monkey. That's why in Shastra it says, what is the hands? The hands are to serve others. The hands not look beautiful with bangles, like mukh, your mouth. What is the seva of your mouth? The Bhagavad, even this is written in Niti Shastra. Bhagavan has given us mouth to speak Harikatha of Bhagavan. So see how. Then what it is. So if that is material karma action, like to feed others. That is not Paramatma, that is not spiritual. Here it's like whoever you feed, they will also stab you on your back. So that's how bad people are in Kali Yuga. And sometimes we have to, for example, when say doctor, somebody, then that thief committed murder of somebody, and that thief, he got hurt while murdering somebody, and then he comes to you and you are a doctor, and then you made him better and you healed his wound. Then what will he do? That thief will again go and murder somebody. So then what karma do? So in this sansar, so yes, if you didn't heal him, if you didn't treat his hand, then maybe he would have not killed. So that's why the doctor also has to pay for these activities, pay for his pap. So he would also be part of his contribution for his pap. So this is the chakra of karma mark. So that's how karma mark works. So for example, instead of that doctor, let's say that doctor served a sadhu, then what would happen? Then it would be not karma gyan, it would be bhakti. So that's why people don't understand here. So RamaKrishna Mission, they call the Gaudiya Math that, you just sit and eat. And what did the answer Maharaj gave? ParamaGurudev said. So he said, Sajjan. Sajjan means who is a gentleman. Gentleman sits down and eats. But if you are an animal, animals is the one who wanders around and eats and walks and moves. So he said, Sajjan. So Sajjan means we are gentlemen. You are like animals. So he's telling this reply back to this Radha Krishna Mission. In Niti Shastra, it's written. It's written that humans who stand and eat, they are foolish. Animals are foolish, aren't they? So this is how ParamaGurudev used to give answers. In Dhaulatpur college, and he used to teach. They used to now in that college they used to teach Chaitanya Charitamrta at that time. This Bangla Chaitanya Charitamrta. At that time they used to teach that in the college. All the pandits in the Christian, all the professors that were in the teacher, they were all Mayavadi, Sankarwali. They had no faith in Bhagavan. They're Nastic. Means, in the Chaitanya Charitamrta, one day the teacher was teaching that Jive hai Swarup hai Nitya Krishna Das. In Krishna Shakti hai Bede Prakash. So he said, yesterday you said that Bhagwan is not a vigra. Bhagwan is not person. Is not a person. So that's why you don't do Murti Puja. They don't believe in the deity. Arya Samaj. They are called Arya Samaj. They don't worship and they don't believe in deity. So they say Bhagwan is not Shakti. They say Bhagwan is Nirakar Shakti. But he said that so this Vinoda Brahmachari said, but Chaitanya Charitamrta it's written Jive Swarupe Krishna Nitya Das. Says Sakti. Krishna Shakti is Veda Prakash. So it says Krishna is Shakti, and then you were saying yesterday that Bhagwan doesn't have Shakti. So how can that be true? So what happened in the whole college, all the professors started to discuss about that. Krishna Shakti nahi hai. So there is no Shakti. Krishna Shakti. So none of the professors could answer to his question. So what happened? They said then he left the college and he went to Mayapur and he took shelter of Bhakti Prajnana Keshava, Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. And then Prabhupada taught him all the tattvas, that Bhagwan is not Nirakar, Bhagwan is a person. Bhagwan have a deity. This is a slok from Brahma Samhita. Varapidam Natvala. Yeah, they're describing how beautiful Bhagwan is. How Bhagwan is. So this Ved mantra. This Ved mantra. What is this Roop? The Roop is such a beautiful Roop, Sachidananda Roop. Even the Vedanta Sutra says that Bhagwan's Roop is so beautiful. Even in Vishnu Purana it's written. Bhagwan has Sakti, Chit Sarup. Chit Sakti, Maya Sakti, Jiva Sakti. So Krishna is all these potencies, all the Shakti, all the energy, all different types of energy. Kandan. So Prabhupada taught Vinod Brahmachari all the tattvas. So what did Brahmachari Vinod do? He left all the college and everything, and he took the shelter of his lotus feet of Prabhupada, and then he started to serve him. Freedom. So at that time, the Gangijis, they were fighting for a freedom fight, to get the independence from British colony. So they were. So Prabhupada said, so he's come, leave everything, and come come and take shelter of my Lord's vision. And then the Prabhupada, also the minister, you might have heard Subhash Chandra Bose. He also came to Prabhupada and said, if you have very young boys, then give those young boys to me. They can help me to fight for independence from British. So I will. So the boys can help us to fight. But what did Prabhupada say? Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswatipad Prabhupada said, first you understand what is independence. He said, for example, so somebody's what? So what happens to that person? When he leaves his body, when he dies, he takes another body, and he takes maybe he takes birth in a Britain. Then he will say, I'm British. So from one body to the next, then 1 minute you are Indian, one body, and then the next body you can be British. So this is the. So what is the utmost? What should we do? We should deliver all these people from this material world in this prison of Maya. And that is the independence of a jiva. Why are we wandering around in this material life? Why? What have we done? Because we are not serving Bhagavan, but we are serving Maya. So what does Maya? Maya catches us. Why is Maya giving us so much suffering? Because we've forgotten to serve Bhagavan, and we are not serving Bhagavan. If we serve Bhagavan under the shelter of a Guru, a Vaishnava, then slowly the Maya will leave us. This is a sloka in Gita. What is the only way to get deliverance from this material world is material life is to take the shelter of a Guru. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. देखो इसमें तो तब का सिद्धांत श्रील भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती प्रभुपाद. This is the Siddhanta of Bhakti, and that's how we started to serve. Like before, he used to say who didn't have clothes, he would give clothes, or somebody who is on the Anyadan, food, Kanyadan. These are all donation, like Kanyadan is when your daughter gets married. You give your daughter to another family. So, but according to Shastra, the biggest donation is Kanyadan. When you give your daughter to get married to the groom. So the mother and the father of the bride, they get up during the marriage ceremony, and then they give mala. So they offer their daughter to the groom. So now the people sell their daughters for money, but at that time it was dan. The daughter is donated to the groom. So go dan. So what is at that time? It's like the biggest in Shastra. It says the biggest dan is Kanya dan. Now what is happening? Now it's altered. Dej means the groom. Dowry. Oh, that's nowadays they have dowry. Dowry is like when a groom asks his dowry from the daughter's, the girl's parents. So what was this Vinod Brahmachari doing? He was serving the local, the poor people. But when he heard, Harikatha. So when he heard the Bhagavatam, and what is the topmost donation is Bhagavatam Katha, Bhagavad Katha. Puridana Jana, the Sesta Data, the one who's the biggest donor is the one who gives Harikatha and does Kirtan of Bhagwan. If you don't listen to Bhagavad Katha, then how will the anathas in our heart be removed? So you should listen to the Harikatha. If you don't have ruchi, if you don't have interest in listening to Krishna's Bhagavad Katha, then it's wasted. Your life is wasted. In Gaudiya, in the Prabhupada's, in Gaudiya, there is a slok that it's written in one line, all Gaudiya. Harikatha Ruchina. You are doing everything. You do everything else. But if you don't have ruchi, if you don't have taste in listening to Harikatha, when our Narayan Goswami, when he used to give Harikatha, he used to make sure all the brahmacharis are listening to Harikatha. Even when I was in Devananda Gaudiya Math, he would, when he would give in Harikatha in Devananda, he would make sure every single brahmachari, every single person was there to listen to the Hari. Only two, like Vaman Maharaj and Trivikram Maharaj, he didn't call them. So Krishna Kripa, Acharya Maharaj, everyone come and listen to Maharaj, to Harikatha. Then if you don't listen to Harikatha, then what have you done? So, if you don't have, then how will you progress in your spiritual life if you don't have ruchi in Harikatha? There is 108 upadesh, means instructions. ParamaGurudev's 108 instructions. And this one, it's one of them is where if you don't have ruchi in Harikatha, then you kind of, then it becomes karma marg. Even the karmiks are doing that. Then also after that, if you don't taste in listening to Harikatha, Harikatha is Sabda Brahman, it's a kind of transcendental vibration, sound vibration. What is Bhagavad Gita? Bhagavad Gita is a vibration, transcendental. If you don't listen to it, then your mind gets disturbed. So then listening to Bhagavad Gita, then all your heart will be purified from Kam, Krodh, Punyas. This Bhagavad Gita is very powerful, is Sabda Brahman. Sabda Brahman is a transcendental vibration. So that's why, who is the biggest donor? Biggest donor is the one who speaks Harikatha. Now listen to it very careful. Karela, Karelas are very bitter. Karelas are like karwa, bitter. So just like that, when you are listening to this, that it sounds bitter in your ears, but you have to listen to it carefully. So you should have ruchi in listen to Harikatha. Wherever there is a Harikatha, sit down. If the Harikatha is not there, Harikatha is Sakshat Shri Hari. Harikatha is himself, Sakshat Shri Hari. If you listen to Harikatha, is Bhagwan, Sakshat. The Krishna comes in your ear and goes right into your heart and clears all the anathas. So that's why who is the topmost donor is the one who is speaking Harikatha. So this is Gopi Git. So when you are doing this kirtan, then you come to a sloka of Tava Amritam Katha. And that time when he was listening, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu shut his eye. And then I am sannyas. So Mahaprabhu is saying Purita, says means the topmost. The most donor, the most topmost donor is who is residing, who is doing kirtan of Bhagavad Katha. So Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, whoever does kirtan, that even Mahaprabhu knows that. So whoever speaks Bhagavad Katha is regarded as the topmost donor. But people don't understand. So no, you listen to Katha, open the ears and listen to Sabda Brahman. One is Sabda Samanya, ordinary words, ordinary sound, and then one is transcendental sound, Samanya, material sound, this ordinary sound. And when we listen to do the kirtan of Bhagavad Katha, that is transcendental sound. It's very powerful. Bhakti Prajnana, it's like an atom bomb. When the atom bomb, it can destroy in that place, right? Like atom bomb, if you put an atom bomb, it will destroy that area. But Bhagavad Katha, the vibration of Bhagavad Katha will destroy so many lifetimes sinful activities and anathas. So that's why you should do Bhagavad Katha Kirtan. Whoever does the Bhagavad Kirtan are the topmost. Even Radharani said, this is a Bangla Kirtan by Chandidas. That Radharani saying, who is this beautiful name of Krishna? Who sang? What is the Shakti in this Harinam? What is the Shakti in the Harinam? That my heart completely melts. The Sham Nam is so. Sham Nam is also Krishna name. That when it enters my ears, and then this is a Bhagavad slok. If your heart is not melted, when you are chanting and you don't have tears in your eyes, then that means that you have got many lifetimes of aparadh in your heart. That's what. Your heart is like a thunderbolt. That's why when you listen to Harinam or Bhagavan's Katha, your heart doesn't melt. So when your heart melts and listening to Bhagavan's name, not like Babaji who just cry, 1 minute they cry and then next minute they're laughing. That's all false tears. So this is the Shakti of Krishna. This is what Radharani is saying. What is this? So Radhaji is saying, what this beautiful Krishna's name is so sweet that like you want to taste, lick it, with your tongue. You want to lick this. You want to taste this Krishna's name. That Madhur, there is so much mithas, there is so much sweetness in Krishna's name. It's full of anand. If you do Krishna's kirtan and your heart is not melting, that means you have got a lot of aparadh in your heart. Then how will you get rid of that aparadh? By chanting more and more and more. Continuously, by chanting continuously, you will be able to remove this aparadh in your heart. It will take time. Sometimes they said, Maharajji, nothing's happening to me. And they said, don't be negative, be positive. It is happening. Aparadh is removed. No, Guru is saying, no, it is happening in your heart. You are doing bhajan, don't worry. And the Sishya is saying, nothing is happening to me, not happening. So Guru is saying, no. Guru is saying, no, it's happening in your heart. Your heart is melting. So it's a slow process, but it's happening. So it's happening. Then if it was not happening, then you wouldn't be sitting here. At least you've come to Gaudiya Mahaprasad and you are chanting Mahaprasad, Hari Katha. Mahaprasad. Seva, the top Seva is Mahaprasad. Is Mahaprasad. Prasad Sevan. Prasad is even you own a Prasad, that is Prasad Sevan. Nam Seva, chanting is Prasad Seva. Which is the topmost Seva is Prasad Seva. Siddha Bhakta Charana Renu. Prasad Seva. What is it? The Bhagwan's grace. If you own a Bhagwan's Prasad, that is Radha Raman Bihari Gaudiya Math. So one went in the house. So I stayed. I remember one went home. One person, there's a house. Ramananda Prabhuji, his family. Yeah, and his family, they used to serve all the Vaishnavas prasad. Who called Prabhu Premananda Prabhuji? Hare Krishna Prabhu, sorry, beg your pardon. Acha, Hare Krishna Prabhu. He's got another brother who lives at home, and when we go, so Hare Krishna Prabhu's, family in Navadip. But when we took Diksha at the same time, but he went home, and then he came back from home. But now, now today what happened? Now he's a great, I don't know, president or something of the temple. And when we used to go to Navadip Parikrama, his family used to offer a lot of Vaishnavas of prasadam. So Param Guru Maharaj used to do prachar. If the name Param Gurudev's name, the people who are all the disciples of Prabhupada, whose name comes top is Vinod Brahmachari. He's Antarang. He's Prabhupada used to respect. No, other disciples, his other disciples, Prabhupada used to speak like with respect. But with Brahmachari, Vinod Brahmachari, like tu. Tu means like a wife. The husband will not speak to wife as aap. Like with respect. It's like when you are close to somebody, you speak like tu. So what do the wife speak? I don't know. When I was small, I don't know what my mother used to refer to my father, because my father left early. He passed away very early. So what do you call your wife? Tum. They say, oh, you call your husband Tum. Oh, Kanaya ka papa. Naam nahi use karte. They don't use the name. The wives don't use the husband's name to call them. They call them Kanaya papa, means the Kanaya's father. They will speak to, because the wife cannot speak husband's name, so they will say, if the son's name is Kanaya, then they'll say, oh, Kanaya's papa, come here. Oh, Sunso, Sambaso. Yeah, they don't, the wives don't speak a husband's name. Listening. Are you listening? Sunso, Sambalso. Sunse ho. Sambro cho. So Ganista means very close, intimate. When the relationship is very intimate, then you don't use these respectable words. You don't use intimate words like tu. This Prabhu, he was staying with us in Devananda Gaudiya Math. Then he came to Mathura. Then he stayed in Mathura. He was studying Sanskrit in Mathura. No. He was not in Mathura. Oh, he was in Vrindavan. He was in Devananda Gaudiya. He was a brahmachari. This pujari who is going to do arti. He never used to talk to anyone. He was only studying Sanskrit. But now he's so like that, Prabhupada used to respect all his other disciples, but to brahmachari he used to say tu. Tu means very informal, like very informal. So somebody who is very loving to you, who are very dear and near to you, then you speak tu. When Prabhupada used to take rest, Vinod Brahmachari, he would just knock the door and go in, even if it's 1 o'clock at night, even in his bedroom. Then he would take rest. All the wealth of Mayapur, Sampati, all his wealth, he used to look after all the wealth. He used to be. So, because Prabhupada, okay, so his god brothers, they complain. So they complained to Prabhupada that he is not doing any Harinam, he doesn't put tilak, and when we collect, battery finished. Okay, but there is some battery there, right? So when it will last, 2% will last. So he just, whatever collection we do, he just wears beautiful clothes and he wastes our money. So this is the complaint. His god brothers complained to Prabhupada about Vinod Brahmachari. He used to go Mayapur, Krishna Nagar. When he used to go from Mayapur, Krishna Nagar, there is a Ganga. To cross the Ganga, everybody used to call him, in Bengal, he used to call him Vinod Babu. Come in my boat. So why? That now the boat, the naukaras, the boat, boatmen. I just couldn't think of the names. The boatmen used to call Vinod Baba, because he used to give more. If it's 10 rupees it would cost them, then he would give 20 rupees. That's how generous he was. So that's why this Guru Bhai, they complain, hey, Vinod Bhaichari, he is wasting our money that we collect. And he doesn't put tilak. He doesn't do Harinam. He's living like materialistic. Then Prabhupada said, look, Prabhu, that's it. If you ever complain about Vinod Brahmachari, then you'll all go to hell. I know who he is. Prabhupada said, Vinod Brahmachari is a Siddha Mahatma. You don't know. When you go to sleep, when you are all sleeping, that's when Vinod Brahmachari is chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Or faith. And at Mangal Aarti, the next day, he has to go to court. He used to look at all the papers and the court papers. And you haven't seen him chant. He's chanting from midnight up to 4 o'clock in the morning. The Samay. So he said, so when everybody is sleeping, sadhu is awake. When sadhus are sleeping, everybody is awake. So Prabhupada gave this example. Prabhupada said that you sleep you sleep and you get up at 4, but Brahmachari, Vinod Brahmachari is chanting. You haven't seen him at night, because the next day what he has to do, he has to go to court to for the land of the Mayapur. He has to go to court. That's why in the morning he has to look. Yeah, he has to go to court, so he has to make sure he's got all the paperwork with him. What paperwork that has to be shown that in the court. So he has to prepare all the paperwork. So that's why all these God brothers complain to Prabhupada. If you ever complain, so Prabhupada said, if you ever or criticized him, if you ever criticized or complain about Vinod Brahmachari, then you will all go to hell. So what? And then also said, whatever Vinod Brahmachari, he said, Khechue, theek, whatever he's doing is perfect. It's perfect. The one who's miser, kripa. Vinod Brahmachari is not a miser. To protect Prabhupada's wealth, you have to be very strong. You see, there is 300 acres of land that was Prabhupada's, and the Muslim had snatched. Muslim has stolen that land, and they were not given to. What did Vinod Brahmachari when we go to Mayapur, Yodpik? What is Brahmachari did? Vinod Brahmachari. Gurudev used to tell this katha. And he used to sit on a chair and he used to think with his legs on the table. And the sannyasis used to do pranam. He was a brahmachari. Even the sannyasis used to do and pranam to him. Like we do pranam to Uma Didi. What happened once? This Gunde, these Muslims land, this Muslim, they didn't give the rent, they didn't give the tax for the land. So what he did was he got hold of the Muslim man and he put his head under his table and beat him so much. Give the money. Why are you not paying the rent? So all these Muslims got so frightened. All the other Muslims also got frightened. So whatever the rent they didn't pay, the rent arrears, then all these Muslims, they paid the rent. So this was the kripa. This is one side he was very bold and so this is what Vinod Brahmachari was. Even now you go to Mayapur, when you do your Navadip Parikrama, this is the birthplace of Mahaprabhu. This Muslim got those land. Graveyard, Kabristan. And they changed the name from Mayapur to Mayapur. And Bhakti Vinod Thakur, he said Bhakti Vinod Thakur discovered that place is the birthplace of Mahaprabhu. And Bhakti Vinod Thakur and Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj confirmed that is the birthplace of Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Mahaprabhu. Jiski lathi, I don't understand. So he's saying whoever's got a stick, they can win. They can control or they can win whatever they want to get. So what did Vinod Brahmachari did? He took some men there And then in this place where Muslims used to bury the bodies, like a graveyard. So what he did was, all this, he dug it down, and all the bodies, dead bodies, all the skeletons, they were thrown in the Ganges. And so Muslims used to, and so what did happen? Also, these bodies that went in Gangas, they also got delivered. So what did Brahmachari,